I constantly reminding everyone that they need to keep a close check on the BIs, the IMF and the FSB in addition to the G20 leaders. In addition, I am going to demonstrate to you all in this video the specific reasons why this is actually quite bullish for XRP as well as Ripple. And by absolutely crushing this market, I mean making sure that your long-term, your mid-term, and even your short-term goals are being met in this sector. If you guys want to do that, here's what you need to do. Your presence in the Discord server is required. I have a component that is completely free, as well as a piece that is completely paid, and both sets of users are receiving a great deal of value from it. I don't overlook the free side, guys, even though they are on the free side. In there, we hold events on a weekly basis. We're reviewing portfolios, and we're doing everything else. Now, what exactly are you guys holding out for? In the description that follows, you will find ways to join the free Discord server right now. Now that we've established that, I'd want to introduce myself to everyone on the channel. My name is Nick. It is my aim that by the time you reach the conclusion of this video, those of you who are new to the channel will successfully subscribe to the channel. Going all the way back to September of 2023, we witnessed a significant announcement. The G20 nations endorsed the principles for cryptocurrency regulation that were developed by the IMF and the FSB. The G20 has asked for crypto laws that are efficient, fast, and uniform in order to close any regulatory gaps that may exist. Now, even in the present day, they are continuing to work on this. The time period in question is exactly 1 year ago. However, if we take a look at this, we can see that the action is being interpreted as a preliminary step towards the establishment of future regulatory frameworks in the cryptocurrency industry. It was on September 7th that the joint proposals were presented to the public in response to a request made by the Indian presidency of the G20. Specifically, their guidelines provide authorities with comprehensive advice on how to manage the macroeconomic and financial stability risks that are associated with crypto asset activities and markets. These risks include those associated with stablecoins and also decentralized finance. In light of the fact that we are now examining this, I would want to direct your attention to the CPMI group, which, as you are aware, is the bias, and Ripple is within it. When we take a look at the risk management of the infrastructure of the financial market, we find that the FSB is completely on board with this. The success of this endeavor is dependent on multi-tiered coordination and includes collaboration with the Chief Executive Officer of IOS, which is the International Organization of Securities Commissions, as well as other standard-setting agencies like the Financial Stability Board. In addition, if we examine farther than this, we will see that this is all about payment systems, security settlement systems, and central counterparties. It serves as the basis for the work that the CPMI does. And finally, we have the improvement of payments that are made across international borders. Since the year 2020, this has been a top item on the agenda of the G20. When it comes to addressing the issues that are associated with cross-border payments, the CPMI and the FSB have collaborated to produce a roadmap. The objective of this roadmap is to enhance the speed, transparency, and accessibility of cross-border payments while also ensuring that they remain secure. In the year 2022, a strategic review was conducted with the purpose of determining how to achieve the goals that were established by the G20 for the year 2027. It is our understanding that all of this will be put into action within the next 3 years, and that this will take place throughout the course of the following 3 years. There will be no regulations until the year 2027. Yes, I did tell you all that. It is anticipated that the FSB will reach the end of the year 2025. The following is a prioritization strategy and engagement model that was developed as a result of this review in order to move the program ahead. The development on 3 issues was the primary emphasis of the prioritized roadmap. These themes were the payment system and droppability, an extension of legal, regulatory, and supervisory frameworks, and cross-border data exchange and message standards. All of this is happening with the G7, the G20, the FSB, and the BIs, to reiterate. In addition, this is being done in collaboration with central banks from all over the world, as well as actors from the private sector, with the goals of fostering the interlinking of faster payment systems, improving access to payment systems, extending the operating hours of payment systems, adopting harmonized ISO 22 data requirements, and promoting the harmonization of application programming interfaces, APIs. In terms of infrastructure, this is everything. Furthermore, we also have the digital innovation as well as the clearing and settlement of payments, which is located down here. Once more, this is linked to the tokenization of digital currencies issued by central banks across international borders. This discussion also includes the G20, which is being brought up in relation to tokenization in the context of money and payments. And this is, of course, in conjunction with the BIs. With relation to CBDCs, the CPMI conducts an analysis of the optimal timing of important technical and regulatory options concerning cross-border CBDC capability, as well as an examination of how central banks might successfully collaborate on implementation of this functionality. In conclusion, the CPMI, in conjunction with the iOS Co., conducts an analysis of the risk that is associated with multi-currency and asset-linked stablecoin arrangements, and if necessary, creates policy considerations that are pertinent to the discussion. Taking into consideration how insane this is, in addition to the fact that 15.37% of all central banks are currently in conversations with Ripple, I believe that the situation is actually even more insane presently. I believe that approximately 20% of all central banks are currently engaged in conversations with Ripple. This is due to the fact that Ripple is still engaged in conversations with 20 to 30 additional central banks. I think about how bizarre it is that a firm like Ripple, which is based on cryptocurrencies, is having conversations with that percentage of central banks while also working with the BIs on this work program, with the G20, the BIIs, and also with the FSB. In my opinion, that is completely ridiculous. Furthermore, this demonstrates that Ripple is a significant force behind the modernization of the infrastructure of central banks, as demonstrated by the fact that it is a strong hitter. Likewise over here, since October of 2023, this has been going on. This information comes from the BIs. In this preliminary report to the G20, we discussed the implications of quick payment systems across international borders, as well as governance and oversight aspects. Please have a look at this within this. I'm not sure if you folks are able to view this on my screen, but this is the settlement information. Number 5, legal finality and technical settlement, real-time gross or deferred net settlement, settlement currency, kind of settlement asset, commercial bank money, central bank money, and cryptocurrency are all important aspects of the settlement process. To put it another way, they are incorporating cryptocurrency as a form of settlement asset. Furthermore, this is a source that includes the CPMI, the BI's Innovation Center, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank from the year 2023. What is this insane thing? I find this to be completely ridiculous. In addition to this, we also have information from the World Bank, which is relevant to all of this because the World Bank is connected to it. These are the words of the World Bank. These are digital currencies issued by central banks for use in international transactions. Keep in mind that this was discussed in November of 2021, when both XRP and XLM were brought up. Ripple and Stellar are also included. The native digital currency of Ripple, known as Ripple XRP, and the native cryptocurrency of Stellar Network, known as the Stellar Lumen XLM, are both examples of digital currencies that are contained within this category. When compared to correspondent banking, Ripple and Stellar both make it possible to make international payments in a more expedient and effective manner. Stablecoins are used for international financial transactions. Outside of this, let's head over to this end of the room. These are the words of the World Bank. The reason for this document's continued significance is as follows. On top of that, this document continues to hold a great deal of significance. And this is the reason why the collaboration between the BIs and all of the CPMI is so vital. I am referring to subjective views here. Both the World Bank and the G20 continue to place a high premium on reducing the costs associated with international payments. In the Middle East and North Africa region, there are only a few fintech companies fighting against this issue. We are aware of the magnitude of Ripple's presence in the Middle East and North Africa region. The Global Director of Finance, Competitiveness and Innovation at the World Bank is the one who has provided this information. Take a look at this. As is always the case in this circumstance, there is a state of equilibrium between the public sector and the private sector. What we see, and we have a very excellent example here, is that supervisors are also creating more space for innovation while also balancing that with consumer protection and financial stability. However, they are also building those sandboxes which